Hello guys, it's Randall with BitRaged. So I want to do the video for the giveaway. We promised at 1,000 subscribers we were going to do a giveaway. So I'm going to give away 200 Cardano. But I didn't just want to do a video on that. I want to share something with you that would be valuable because only one of you is going to win, but I'd like all of you to be winners. So I just got an alert from Coinigy. I put in an alert for EOS. And you'll notice I put it right at about the support line right here. I mean, the support was it's in this area. And I usually put it above so I get an alert so I can watch it and figure out where I think it's going to go. So I thought this would be a perfect example to let you in on a little bit of my own trading, how I work a little bit. I'm not going to share with you everything because obviously I've researched this beforehand and I've been doing position trading with EOS here for a while now. It's just one of the coins I have alerts on and I check and I'll drop a position on. So a few things that you need to notice here. We just mentioned to hit support line or close to it. The RSI is showing a weakness in oversold here and we just entered oversold again, and this is a very good indication. You'll notice where we're at. We're at a lower point, but we're higher, but we're still entering RSI oversold. It's a very good indication we should see a trend reversal. So I'm actually going to take a minute here and actually look over some information and probably place or at least set up a trade. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I put in a limit. Now we can get back. So the reason I put the alert in is because of the support, and you can do this for resistance as well, but obviously if you're trying to buy in, you're going to look for a support level. So, and I'm going to tell you a secret, and it's not some amazing secret, but it's valuable, and honestly people underutilize this. Alerts are powerful. I mean, you can literally go through, pick your exchange, and if you have more than one, go through them all and go through and just set alerts for a bunch of different coins at support level. So I don't care if it's up here. If support's down here, set an alert down here. It's going to notify you. I have it set so it's church bells. I guess they're church bells. And when I hear that, sometimes I have to turn it off because I get too many. I check it and I'll put in limits. So this is powerful because before it gets too far into the trend or where it's headed, you can start analyzing and get your limits in and everything. Now, what can we actually learn from this chart? And where should we be placing our buy order? At what point? So I already mentioned that we are in oversold right now. And if you look at this, you can get an idea of what this means. Right, so you notice this big curve here. And basically it gives you an idea how many Bitcoin it's going to take to eat through this portion of the wall. So that's why it's so important that you understand the volume for a particular coin per day. If you have a volume of 1 Bitcoin in a whole day of trading for a coin, and you see that to get this far into the sell wall or the buy wall, whichever one you're looking at, is 7 Bitcoin. You have to think that in terms that's 7 days worth of trading. That's not going to happen. Right? And by the time we get there, who knows how many other orders have been placed. So it's important to factor that in. And you have to look at the volume on each side and the spread between the two and how fast it's moving. All that stuff gives you valuable information. Alright, so right now the RSI is telling me that there's a very good indication that we are ready to start heading in the opposite direction. We're ready for a trend reversal. And honestly, I don't think I've lost a trade on EOS yet. It's really done quite well, and if you look at this chart, it's really perfect for position trading. And I really hate to say that because somebody's going to put in a position and lose, but there's a lot of indications when you're looking at this chart of where to put your buys and where to put your sells. So I've done quite well with EOS, believe it or not. So I just want to talk a little bit while we watch the chart about trading. So what I want you to do when you are trading, or rather before you even trade, before you even put any money in, I know it's exciting and you want to start trading with money, But before you do that, I want you to start figuring out support levels. Draw your support levels, and they don't have to be perfect. It's just giving you an indicator. It's giving you an idea. Find your resistance points, and that pretty much stretches across there. And the important part of this is when you get to support and you break support, which we haven't broken that support yet, you should have alerts in these areas. So we came off this high, I had an alert down here because I knew some point in here we're going to see a trend reversal. And the same thing up here. You can set alerts for up here, or you can just be watching to make sure you get your sell in at the right time. So I want you to start doodling, I want you to start drawing, I want you to start annotating and putting arrows and just making predictions. And I don't want you to just do this whimsical. I want you to base it on sound reasoning. So when you make a trade, you need to have between 2 and 3 reasons to make that trade. Now you can do it on one and you can do okay on one. But if you have 2 to 3 reasons, your chances of success are actually quite high. So you could find a divergence in RSI, that could be 1. Then you could find a indicator in the market volume, that could be 2. And then maybe you could find an exhaustion candle, and there would be 3. And that would be a really good indicator that, hey, things are about to turn around. Now again, it doesn't always have to happen. You could have all the indicators in the world, and it could still go a different direction. It happens, but it's uncommon. If you have a number of indicators, it's a very good chance. So check your indicators, check the look at the Japanese candles, see what they're doing, see what the trend is, look for exhaustion, look for bulls or bears pushing. Watch the order book and just see what's going on. Look for dips like this and be like, okay, we're pretty close to seeing this reverse here. And then you might say, okay, it's going to turn fairly soon here, and it actually is probably going to go straight up like that. You can even annotate and say, okay, at this point, it's at 11.7656, we'll say that. So that's where I would have bought in, you could say, all right? And you could even put in there how many you would buy, and keep it realistic to actually how much funds you would be able to invest if you were using money. And then figure out, okay, I need to do figure out my sell point here, okay? So if it goes up to this point, then I'm going to sell. You figure out that on your own. I'm not telling you how to do it because I want you to do this in trial and error. Then I want you to come back in, so our prediction would be for tomorrow. Come back tomorrow and watch it tomorrow and see where it goes. And then see how close you are to your prediction. And like I said, make your predictions. Don't make them whimsical. Don't just draw abstract. Draw based on what you really think the data is telling you. Because when you're making real trades, you need real data behind it. Now, a couple things you need to keep in mind. One big mistake a lot of people make is not taking profits. So they'll get this right, and buying in actually, believe it or not, a lot of newbies actually do pretty well on figuring out where to buy in. So they buy in at a good place, even if it isn't down here, maybe it's up in here, but they buy in at a decent spot. And then they see just a straight up green shoot. It's just shooting up. There's a huge bull run, and they wait. And it shoots up and they wait. And then it drops a little bit. And then it goes up and they wait. And then it just plunges. And they're like, if I sell now, I'm not going to make much. And then it plunges. And they're like, well, if I sell now, I'm going to lose. And people wait too long. So if it hits up here, it's okay to sell. Okay, so this was a resistance point. It's okay to sell there, even if it jumps way up here. Fear of missing out is a horrible way to trade. You need to trade with what you're comfortable with. And it would be better to sell here and make a decent profit than for it to drop down and lose money, right? So Never allow yourself to trade with emotions. You don't have to make $100 on a trade. If you can make $5 on a trade, that's a good trade. That's a perfectly good trade. Do 10 of those in an hour and you got $50. Now I know we want to trade the big stuff, but don't worry about the big stuff right now. You need to learn how to trade the little stuff first. Once you got trading down pat, you can trade, I'll tell you right now, you can trade Ethereum to Bitcoin and make tons of money very easily. Very, very easily. It's the easiest cryptocurrency to position trade. Absolutely the easiest. So make sure you're not letting yourself trade with emotions. Just make good positions, sell out when you're making a profit. Don't worry about, especially just starting out. So get a spreadsheet, get all this information in there, the date and time when you bought or would have bought. You aren't buying. Keep that in mind. You're not buying and selling right now. You're just simulating. Put down the price, how many, and figure in about 2% for fees for buying and selling, just to cover yourself. It might be less, it might be more depending on your exchange. So put that information in. Then when you come back and check your predictions and you put in a sell, check the order book to make sure that your sell would actually sell. You can't just pick a number up here. It has to be something that would actually sell. Put that in the spreadsheet and figure out if you made a profit or a loss, and figure out what the profit or loss would be, and keep doing this. I want you to do it for 5 to 15 coins for a week. Spend at least an hour a day doing this, and I want you to do it for a week, and feel free to, after a week, comment below and tell me how it went. Tell me how much you made, how much you lost. Tell me what experiences you had. I would really love to hear that. Absolutely would really love to hear that. So figure that all out, and here's what I want you to do. If you made a prediction and it didn't come true, I want you to go back to that chart. I want you to zoom in. I want you to read those candles. I want you to look at the RSI. I want you to study the order book. If you want to add moving averages in there, if you want to add something else, that's fine. But I want you to study this chart until you are either sure that there was no way you could have known, or you found out an indicator that you missed. Because there's going to be charts where there's no way you could have known that. It's like it just didn't work out, right? So that's okay. But a lot of times, if we'd paid attention a little better, we would have seen an indicator, and we might not have made the trade. So figure all that out, then write it in your spreadsheet. I should have paid attention to this. I missed this indicator. So you'll remember later on to be more careful. And then just keep doing better. And I tell you, if you do this for a week as I have directed, if you pick legitimate coins that have legitimate order books, legitimate volume being sold in a day, you're going to find yourself having higher success rates every time you make a simulated trade. Then when you actually go to using Bitcoin to trade, you can have a higher confidence level that you'll make a good trade. All right, so make sure you set your target price and set your stop loss. All right, so if you set your stop loss for just below what you buy in at, and if it drops below that, you need to count that in your spreadsheet as a loss because it would have automatically sold. That's what a stop loss is. You need to count it as a loss and figure out what your loss is. But it will be a small loss, and we factor that in. That's how it rolls with crypto trading. Now, the more you trade and the more you get used to it, the less that happens. In fact, you can get to the point where most of your trades are really well planned and do really well. And like I said, if you really want to get into crypto trading, which is almost as close to risk-free as possible, Ethereum is as close as you're going to get. I trade Ethereum every single day as often as I can. I buy and sell, and I've never had a buy that was wrong. I've never made one. Ethereum is just so simple. All right, guys, I think that's about it. I hope that this has been somewhat helpful. I know I've kind of rambled on a little bit, but I hope that you've glean some information from it. And again, if you're just beginning trading, I really hope that you'll follow my advice and just start simulating. Please comment below and let me know what you thought of the video. And like I said, in a week, comment below please and tell me how it went with your simulated trading. I really would like to know. I really would love to know. And if you want to document it doing a screen share, you can send me those screen shares, and maybe if I get a few, I'll do a video, a compilation. That would be something that I would be very open to. All right, so let's do the giveaway. All right, so let's do this. Chris Rock is the winner. Chris Rock is the winner. Most YouTube gurus are con artists. Most courses are cons. I tend to agree with that comment. Congrats, Chris. You get 200 Cardano. I'm going to send you a message, and I'm going to comment on your comment so that you hopefully will know that you won. You will need a Cardano wallet, so just set one up if you don't have one, and send me your wallet address, and I'll send that over to you. My recommendation would be to hold it, because I do think Cardano will go up, but you can do what you want. I'm going to do another poll, and I'm going to give away 1,000 red coin to a second winner. Alright, Hardcore Panda wins 1,000 red coin. Alright guys, that's about it. Thanks so much guys for watching. I really do hope that you enjoyed the video. Comment below and tell me what you think. If I can do a better job of explaining something, if you want specific videos on specific things in trading, just let me know. We are working on a few different videos. That'll about do it guys. Thanks so much for your support. We really do appreciate it. Please hit that subscribe button if you are not subscribed, and hit the bell to make sure you're notified as soon as we drop new videos. Please hit the like button, and take care guys.